Hey, what's going on? It's Mike here, and today we are here with the first episode of the NBA 2K19 Reject Series. Now, you already see there's games that have been simmed and played. That is because I ended up recording the first episode, and once I finished that, I recorded the second one like 10 seconds after, and I went to upload this today, and the first episode had no footage. The second one had footage, but the first episode didn't record at all. That's my mistake. So we are here to start that today. If you guys are excited for this reject series, leave a like, subscribe, turn on your post notifications. So let me explain to you about this series. So I've been working on this series for a long time. That's why my inconsistency. Not that long, because I know I have a really bad upload schedule for a very, very long time. But for about the past 5 months or so. So I'm hoping I've gotten with some guys for thumbnails who have all kind of X'd out on me. Took me a while to make teams, get ages, get players, even think of just players to put on this team. Prepare all this. Like it took a while. Get people to make like the jerseys and the cord and even the logo for me. It took a while. But what we're going to do is every other episode we are going to be signing a tryout player to a one-game contract. Now I know one-game contracts aren't really a thing in this game, but just if they have we'll just sign them to like a 1 year minimum, and then we'll play that one game with them in that episode. And if they perform well or not, it doesn't matter. So then, after seeing that trial player in the next episode, you'll vote on a straw poll that I'll leave in the description whether you think that player played good enough to make the team or whether they don't make the team. If they don't make the team, we will cut them and release them back to free agents. If they make the team, we'll keep them and probably give them minutes depending on how they performed. Next, let's see. This is the first episode, so that means that next episode we're going to need a tryout player, but I already recorded that episode because, obviously I lost the footage to the first episode, so we don't end up getting a tryout player because I recorded that like 10 seconds after. But for the third episode, I will wait for a tryout player, I promise. And now, let me explain for this. They can't be like LeBron type or Curry type players. They don't have to be like bust or like injury devastated players. Like maybe you want your favorite basketball YouTuber on the team. Maybe you know of some business CEO that plays basketball and I can put him on. I don't really know. It'd basically be anything. Another thing you guys vote on is player of the episode. After watching this episode, you see, well, not just necessarily this episode, but after watching that one of the episodes, you would vote on which player should win player of the episode. That means for the game that I play and simmed games in that episode, and that player will receive a +1 overall boost. Each win equals 1 point, and free agency, higher overall players will cost more points. So in order to improve in the offseason, we need to get wins. I've raised the sim difficulty and play difficulty to make it realistic, because I did a test sim with this team actually, and 2K had us winning 53 games. And after you see our team, I don't know how we won 53 games, so I definitely raised it. But here we go. Now I'm going to introduce you to our team. First, we got Maya Moore. Starting at point guard is Maya Moore. She's a WNBA player. You can see some of them arguing on Twitter and stuff that they deserve higher salaries, or they could play in the NBA or whatever. So that's why we have Maya Moore here. Moore is a 4-time WNBA champion and a 1-time league MVP, a 1-time finals MVP. And in Sports Illustrated, she was called the greatest winner in all of women's sports. So that's cool. We get David Stockton, son of John Stockton. He was undrafted in 2014, played for the Kings, Jazz, and a ton of random teams across seas. Probably a big family disappointment, let's be honest here. Jack Taylor. The thing about Jack Taylor is what he did is incredible. Some of you may not know him, basically. But you may know what record he holds. He holds the record for the single game NCAA scoring record, which 138 points. Yes, 138. And he's also third on that list with 109. He went undrafted out of Grinnell College in 2016 and came out with a statement saying he had no longer had any interest in basketball until now, where he joins your rejects. As you can see, all 3 of our point guards have now been introduced. They can all shoot threes, but some of them are pretty bad defensive liabilities. Maya Moore being 6'7", so that is going to help us, but 5'11" and 6 foot is not going to help us. Here at our shooting guard position, we have O.J. Mayo. He was a promising young guard, but got banned for weed or something. He got a little too high in the clouds, if you know what I mean. OJ had all the hype coming into the draft from USC. The Timberwolves selected him with the 3rd pick, but traded him to the Grizzlies, where he would excel in his 4 seasons there. He then signed with Dallas, only to leave 1 year later to go to Milwaukee. In 2016, he tested positive for an NBA banned steroid and was life banned for playing basketball. Till now, the NBA has allowed us to sign him because of the expansion draft players not wanting to stay. I did not explain this. Because we are across seas in the rest of the United States, all our expansion draft players were given the chance to opt out of their contracts, and they all did, so we had to sign reject players. That's how this team came together. Next, we have Jordan Kilgannon. Now, the thing about Jordan, right? He was at one of the halftime shows for, I think it was maybe 2016, 2015 All-Star games. He was doing some insane dunks, so I had to put him on the team. I had to put him on the team. Next, we have Kevin Ware. Kevin Ware, in an Elite 8 game against Duke, had a bone puncture and stick out of his knee, and he had to be carted off. Trust me, don't look up the injury video. It's really bad. Seriously, don't do it. He was cleared again to play basketball in 2016, and today he joins the Rejects, hopefully to make us proud. Kevin Ware, I really hope he can do things and come back from that bad injury. Don't look it up, seriously. 6'6" and 262, so we're kind of short here, but that doesn't matter. Next, we have Carmelo. Here's the thing. Carmelo is not actually going to be getting minutes, I don't think, on the team. Or actually, no. I originally didn't have Carmelo getting minutes. I just had him because. But Carmelo is going to be our starting small forward. You guys know Carmelo got released by the Rockets. Nobody wants him at all. He's old, washed up. Here we got DJ Steffens. I don't know much about DJ except for the fact that he had the highest vertical ever recorded in the NBA Combine, and he went to the University of Memphis and was undrafted. Next we have Chris Bosh. Now I know you're saying Bosh isn't a reject, and I know that player model looks nothing like him. Let me explain. I had to make all these players, so they all look pretty weird. Bosh, I didn't put him on the rejects because he's a reject. I put Bosh because in this mental and imaginary realm, I was hoping Chris Bosh would get cleared by doctors to be able to play again, of course, with the blood clots. Same injury Brandon Ingram has. Pray for Brandon Ingram. Hopefully he can come back. He's still young. But I wanted Bosh to be able to come out from that injury and lead the Rejects team as being the highest overall on this team. Here we have Greg Oden, 2008 #1 pick out of Ohio State, and he looked like he was going to be an absolute beast. The only problem was his knee. All through his short NBA career, he was haunted by knee injuries, forcing him to retire, but today he comes out of retirement to play for your Rejects. Next, Isaiah Austin. This is an interesting one here. Isaiah Austin was a center for Baylor and was projected to be a high first-round draft pick. Unfortunately for Isaiah, who was diagnosed with Marfan syndrome before the draft and went undrafted, he was forced to quit basketball for 2 years until he was cleared in 2016 by doctors to play again. So, that's good for him. Next, we have Anthony Bennett, #1 pick in 2013, was included in the Kevin Love trade that the Cavs did to get Kevin Love. He went to Minnesota, just burnt out there, was not very good at all. And that is how Anthony Bennett ends up on the Rejects. So this is your roster. Any filler players have been filled out with fried rice. We have 3 fried rice. Once we get to the max limit, once we've gotten rid of all our fried rices and turned them into tryout players, we're going to have to start cutting some of these guys. Probably the first one starting would be David Stockton, because I do not generally like David Stockton. We're going to take a look at our rotation here. Maya Moore is your starting point guard with OJ Mayo, Carmelo Anthony, Chris Bosh, Isaiah Austin. Greg Oden is your 6th man, Jack Taylor, Anthony Bennett. David Stockton is getting minutes, but I necessarily think I'm going to change that. Him down to 10. Give Kilgannon up, Bennett up, and Kevin Ware up. And then I'm going to equal out these guys a little bit more. No, I'm actually going to put that like that. But if you guys enjoyed this first episode of the Rejects, leave a like and subscribe. Turn on your post notifications for the next few episodes. And yeah, I will see you all in the next video. Peace.